Well, today's guest, much anticipated, is Kathleen Willey, who claimed that President Clinton groped her in the Oval Office. Kathleen Willey, as you know, was a figure whose name surfaced during the Paula Jones scandal and whose name surfaced during the Monica Lewinsky scandal because, like Monica Lewinsky, she claims that there was some improper interaction between her and then President William Jefferson Clinton in the Oval Office while she was serving there as a volunteer White House aide. What prompted her to write this book, Target, Caught in the Crosshairs of Bill and Hillary Clinton, is that she came under unbelievable, she claims, attack and pressure by the Clinton White House, trying to get her to shut up about what she alleges occurred in the Oval Office. And she says that other women who came out about the then president's picadillos received the same kind of treatment. And she believes that Hillary Clinton basically was behind the attacks on her, and she is ill-suited to be president of the United States. So I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting and hot topic. We welcome Kathleen Willey to News Talk Online at Paltalk.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it. So you, for a long time, tried to keep silent about what happened to you in the Oval Office, whatever happened between you and Bill Clinton. You told some of your friends, but you never really went public with it. You didn't go to the police. In fact, you attempted to keep your relationship with Bill Clinton going at that time. We know that your husband tragically died on the very day that the President of the United States allegedly assaulted you in the White House. Tell us why, and I know this question comes up all the time, and it came up as your veracity was being called into play. Why was it that you remained silent for as long as you did?
That's a good question. Thanks for asking that. I just never intended to go public with that story. It was a bad story from the beginning, and I just didn't see any good that would come out of going public with that story. I really didn't. Every intention of mine was to take that story to my grave with me.
And so what caused you to change your mind, Kathleen?
I was drawn into the Monica Lewinsky saga and the scandal. I was subpoenaed by Ken Starr to testify at his grand jury, and I was also subpoenaed by Paula Jones's attorneys when she filed her sexual harassment lawsuit against the president, and her attorneys were looking for women who had suffered at his hands the same way that Paula had, and they found out about me, and I was subpoenaed and forced to be deposed in her case.
Now, many people observing what happened during the Monica Lewinsky scandal believe that the Republicans were just taking advantage of something that happened between consenting adults in the White House, and they did not believe that this was the kind of thing that should have reached the level that it did of an impeachment and a scandal that was viewed by many people around the world. There are those who disagree with that point of view, obviously. There are those who believe that the president lied under oath and should have absolutely have been prosecuted by the Congress. And I presume I know which side of the fence you fall on this issue, but I think that there would be little debate about the other portion of what you claim in your book, and that is the kind of pressure that you and the other women who claim that Bill Clinton inappropriately sexually approached them, the kind of pressure that they came under when they threatened to or actually went public. Could you very briefly, because this is really what the book is about. It's a 270-some page book that talks about not so much what happened that day, but what happened as a result of this becoming public. Could you just kind of tell our audience here some of the things that visited you during that period of time, the kind of intimidation that you were subjected to?
Well, you're right in the observation that you made, that while what happened to me and what happened in my life on November 29th, 1993 was quite a story and a bad story. The real story here is the lengths to which the Clintons go to quiet women like me, people like me, because there have also been men, who have been subjected to this kind of harassment and intimidation and threats. And that's what this story, and that's what my book is about, is that the lengths to which they will go to quiet women like me. And this has been going on for well over 30 years, and I document all of this in my book. These, the Clintons, especially Hillary, have employed and have had on their payroll very, very well-known, nationally, sometimes internationally known private investigators to quiet, threaten women like me who've had the misfortune of crossing paths with Bill Clinton. Hillary Clinton, has known about his behavior since before they were married. She sent her own father and her own brother down to Little Rock to spy on him before they were even married. And the pattern here, and this is what I talk about, is that she enables his behavior, and she's really not so much upset by his philandering and his womanizing as she is by the fact that she can't control it. And so she goes into damage control mode, and she has, for over 30 years, hired these secret police and sends them out to threaten and intimidate and smear women like me. And I've talked to these women, and I've heard these stories, and I have talked to a number of women who called me after my name became public about what happened in the Oval Office. And they told me stories about, so similar, eerily similar. Some women had this kind of behavior happen to them in the Oval Office also, and in other circumstances. And as I said, this is a pattern, and it's been going on for over 30 years. And we're getting ready. There are people out there who are considering voting for Hillary Clinton for president, and I hope that they will buy my book and read my story and arm themselves with as much information as they can get before they vote. I think as American citizens, this is what we owe it to ourselves to find out as much as we can about our candidates before we vote.
So some of the things that happened to you was some of your pets were killed.
I had a beloved pet disappear, and this was in shortly after my name came out on the Drudge Report in conjunction with the Paula Jones lawsuit, and that's when things started happening, because when they knew that Paula Jones's attorneys were looking for me and that I'd been subpoenaed, they wanted me quiet. And so this reign of terror and the smear campaign started in earnest. My wonderful old cat disappeared. He was 13. He never ventured from home. My car somebody came to my house with a nail gun